Nurture the mind. What is mind cultivation? How to cultivate a mind of cultivation? Dear Buddhists, I respectfully pay homage to Master Thong Lak. Dear Buddhists, when reading the Dharma talk of Venerable Tan Tien, please consider Venerable Tan Tien as a teacher who teaches elementary school students how to do addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and indefinite numbers. When students are proficient in addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and indefinite numbers, then when they enter high school, learning to solve mathematical equations becomes easier than expected. Similarly, Master Tan Tien guides Buddhists to practice the 6 basic dharmas. Once Buddhists are comfortable and familiar with the 6 basic dharmas, then the practitioner sets out on the path to enter the holy path of practice, with the luggage ready to carry the faith to fight and conquer greed, and no longer be reborn as a suffering human being. Important things that Buddhists cannot expect, even if Buddhists do not have the opportunity to become monks, when they are about to die or have a serious illness, at that moment. These 6 basic practices help Buddhists escape the hair's breadth, to liberate themselves. Why is that? It is a reaction of habit that has been practiced with the 6 basic methods. Dear Buddhists, I respectfully pay homage to Master Thong Lak. Master Thong Lak said, humans are very greedy, they want life and religion too. Meanwhile, life and religion are 2 opposite directions. How can they go with 2 feet standing on 2 boats? For life, we are human beings born into this world, accustomed to living in the loving, caring, nurturing, and pampering arms of our parents and relatives. We are trained in human social life to become an unbreakable habit. At the same time, science is constantly developing, serving humanity and satisfying all aspects of daily life. Meanwhile, Buddha Shakyamuni taught that human life is birth, aging, sickness, death, suffering, temporary, ephemeral. We must practice to overcome this painful human life. If you want to practice, you must reduce your greed, but greed has become an attractive, addictive habit. How can you give up greed? Of course, greed in life is familiar, attached to the body, impossible to get rid of. The fruit is indeed wonderful, but how to reach? How to end life to cross the boat towards religion? This is indeed a question that causes anxiety, restlessness for everyone. Today, Master Tan Tien sends his condolences to all Buddhists who love and respect Master Thong Lak. Yes, it is a habit. We know it is bad. But we cannot say we can give it up, because the habit has been trained from the time we are born until we grow up. Therefore, through his own experience, Master Tan Tien shares it so that Buddhists can freely use it to leave the world and enter the religion without encountering any obstacles. So refreshing, gentle, elegant, smooth. 1. First of all, we should know, why should we practice? Obviously, when we read the 4 Noble Truths and we realize that, it is true that our life goes through birth, aging, sickness, and death. At the same time, we realize that, I am borrowing a temporary body to be human in this world. Although we know it is temporary, but, I have been bound by this body to lust to satisfy the body I am borrowing. We know clearly that, if we stop, we will be immersed in greed. If we go forward, we will drift along the stream of greed. Greed sticks to the body, only practice can overcome it. 2. So how to practice? We know clearly that our hearts have been surrounded, seduced, and enticed by greed. Especially today, science has developed to serve humanity, helping people to satisfy their wonderful greed. Now, if we want our mind to escape the clutches of greed, we must train our mind to become accustomed to living in wholesome dharma. When the mind is familiar with living in good dharma, we can peacefully escape from greed, which helps us to master birth, aging, sickness and death and escape the suffering of human life. 3. How to train the mind to live in good dharma? Then we must use the method of right intention, slowly, always, constantly reminding the mind to get used to good dharma. When the mind is familiar with good dharmas, it will stay away from evil dharmas. If you want to know about right intention, you should read the Dharma talk on right intention by Master Tan Tien. Please note that Cultivating the mind according to the true Dharma is not cultivating the mind and correcting the character like the moral teachings in the world or following evil teachings. Cultivating the mind and correcting the character is to obediently serve others. Cultivation of the mind is to train the mind to live in good Dharma. When the mind is accustomed to living in good Dharma, it automatically abandons evil Dharma and increases good Dharma. To make it easier to understand, imagine it as a computer. If we give the command to accept only blue, then only blue will be accepted, and no other colors will be accepted. When green comes, the computer will receive it. When there are other colors, the computer ignores them. Likewise, when we train our mind to accept good dharmas, when bad dharmas attack, the mind will ignore them. At this stage, we have mastered the mind and brought it into a state of stillness and concentration. Living in a field of goodness, our life is peaceful and carefree. This is called human ethics, cause and effect. To know how wonderful the right mindfulness method is, try a vegetarian method, from 1 month to 3 months to know the results immediately. The main idea is the same, but the writing style is different. It has to be suitable for each person's characteristics. No two people are the same. Use the right form of intention and you can practice. Examples of ways to practice vegetarianism. Someone commented, "Eating animal lives is so barbaric. From now on, should be vegetarian." Someone commented, "Eating animal life is like poisoning our body with animal toxins, making our nature just like that of animals. What good is that?" Someone commented, "Vegetarianism is tastier and lighter than eating animal meat." Someone commented, "Medicine from plants, vegetarianism nourishes the body." Meaning, each person composes their own lyrics that they like and that make them happy, then reads them over and over again, day and night, until they know them by heart. Once you know it, at some point, you decide to become a vegetarian. The food tastes great and later, you feel disgusted and no longer want to eat animal lives. The result is the best answer. Using the familiar method of right intention has great benefits. Get rid of the disease, keep our souls in peace forever, practice abstaining from lust, from evil, and from good. When you practice diligently and enter meditation, meditation is easy. 4. It is important to learn about our bodies. If we practice without knowing anything about our body, what is the point of practicing? Therefore, we need to know 5 aggregates, especially the aggregate of perception, our body and our mind. Who am I? What is mind? What is ego? If you want to know clearly, please read the Dharma talk of Master Tan Tien. Remember, in the past and present, we always live in a lot of imagination, meaning, our mind is completely dependent on consciousness. Read the Dharma talk, 5 aggregates, that has been taught, so that in the future we can escape from consciousness through practicing the 6 basic dharmas. When the 6 basic dharmas are mastered, we will see the truth about me. Realize that our mind and body are temporary. 5. Nurture a spiritual mind. When we realize that we should practice, we practice the 6 basic practices. Walking meditation, mindfulness of breathing, sit cross-legged with back straight, solitary, eat 1 meal a day, clear thinking. Every day, we spend about 30 minutes practicing the above 6 methods, practicing like exercising. When conditions permit, we increase gradually. We need to know clearly that, even if we give up wealth and prosperity and cut off the bonds of love, we still cannot set both feet completely on the boat of the way. Because, I have not yet abandoned lust and evil. Which means that lust still lingers in my body. By practicing the 6 basic dharmas skillfully, we have abandoned desire and evil dharmas and increased good dharmas. Therefore, when we decide to step onto the boat of religion, we have left the boat of life in peace, without any regrets. 6. When fate comes, I decide to become a monk. What is fate? Example 1. Right now, I'm busy taking care of my old mother. When my old mother passed away, I set out on a path of practice. Example 2. I am working, now retired, I spend the rest of my life practicing. That's great. Example 3. The couple was living happily, but suddenly, someone was having an affair. the other person knew, let go of everything, and quietly became a monk. What a wonderful opportunity. Never wait for the right time to practice. Because, when we are starting to practice, many things happen that make us miss the opportunity to become a monk. For example, mother just passed away, then lover came to invite to get married, I just retired, then someone came to invite me to get rich. Thus, greed still returns to greed. 7. Practice the 6 basic methods into a habit. What is the benefit of not becoming a monk? When the 6 basic methods have been practiced, when you are about to die or are seriously ill, use that time to practice any one of the 6 dharmas, continuously, without stopping. Will give us the amazing answer we never expected. Thanks to the familiar natural reaction, we can calmly fight through it. 8. Finally, when we practice the 6 basic methods thoroughly, they are, I have abandoned lust, abandoned evil, and increased good. Do not make yourself suffer, do not make others suffer, do not make living beings suffer. Therefore, when we decide to become a monk, then, our 2 feet have completely crossed the boat of religion, no longer attached to the boat of life. That is because we have gradually untied the rope of love and fetters. Therefore, we cross the boat of Dharma with a joyful and peaceful heart, diligently practicing to attain fruition. 9. Absolutely remember, never let the 6 senses run after the 6 objects. Any route that follows the world will fall into evil paths. It is obvious.